Hey, how's it going? So, this is spontaneous. I didn't, these are my pajamas. Well, it's not pajamas, I just, these are the clothes I fell asleep in. But anyway, I had been working on, a composition, and the subject was darkness, or evil, as a lot of people equate the two with. And well, you know what, I'm just gonna read you what I started. It's not complete. I'm probably gonna upload it or add it, not to this video. I'll just post it in my posts section on my YouTube page. But here is what I was thinking about, and then I'll expand it and make it more clear as to what it pertains to today. Is this the one? Here it is. Lost it. The darkness we all walk through. It's something we all perceive differently, that we all choose to engage with or not differently. It's something that lives inside of each of us, and the degree to which we engage with it is also variable between us. I feel like this variety is reflected in a number of ways. When it comes to outwardly, well, take a look at the world. It can be seen in places out in the world. In places of violence, where wars or smaller scale outbreaks of conflict occur. There are sub-levels that the depravity descends to. I should probably put that 2 on there because it's not. I love how I'm just always deciding to edit on the fly. It's not a decision, it's unpreparedness. I don't know. That's what happens when you just write and let your brain go, and you don't worry about grammar and punctuation until you upload it to your, WordPress or whatever. Anyway, it's a potent recipe for a rapid devolvement from norms and morals that, once combined, resulted in a lot of pain, loss, and trauma. Those are examples with locations, but depending on lots of factors and being based in the darkness of violence, of war, let me try that again. My writing is not clear. So wars and outbreaks of conflict are examples with locations, but depending on a lot of factors and being based in the darkness of violence, of war, that tracks. Oh, I see what's wrong. I wrote the tracks. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh my god, my writing is so bad. Anyway, it makes sense that the darkness would be in these various locations. There are, of course, almost innumerable levels when it comes to where and how darkness manifests. I'm talking about on a more personal level, like in our lives. From our jobs, from the co-worker to the company itself. Haven't we all, if we've had jobs, or even had careers, oh my god, haven't we had some kind of coworker that made working there harder? Who you dreaded being scheduled shifts with? Or a supervisor? Whoa, that's an invention. Let me finish that word. There you go. I only wrote supervisor in fragments. Good thing there's some context and I wrote this so I know what I was talking about. Anyway. Haven't you had that co-worker that made working harder, who you dreaded being scheduled shifts with, or a supervisor who's taken a dislike to you? Whether justified or not, there are ways to behave in situations. Often the establishment itself has rules and guidelines that have to be met, and at every level that must adhere to. That's good in a structure under which many people's work combines to produce a product. However, the way this is my Asian friend, the way those are enacted and overseen is at the discretion of us all. So that probably lost structure while I was mangling my way through it, but at every level of the job in question, there's gonna be rules and guidelines that everyone has to adhere to, right? And that's good in a structure because, you know, everybody has to work together, and if the pieces are not, you know, if the cogs are not meshing well, then stuff's not going to go right. So, when it comes to these situations, like, say it's you, and then you have to interact with a coworker or a boss, the way that you respond and react to these people as you're interacting will make a lot of difference in the outcome. Is what I'm trying to get at. So, I mean, the darkness part of it is, like, again, put yourself in the position of the person at the job that's dealing with the other coworker or superior at work, and because it's work, you don't really want to just like be totally free with the emotions, or you have to maintain a level of civility at work. You know, like, it's kind of, everyone kind of does. When someone is a jerk, or it creates problems. Like I was saying, the person that you dread working with, like, your quality of your work is going to be like, how much longer do I have to do this with this person? Like, how many more minutes is left in my shift until I can get away? That's going to interfere with the quality of your work. But if you make the best of it, that's good on you. The darkness can come in when you're the other person and you're deliberately screwing people up, or you're the boss and you have to, I mean, I don't know if it's even a case of disciplining someone, but you might have to intervene in a situation. Like, say you got yourself and the other person that no one wants to work with is a problem, then the boss then has to intervene and, you know, be between the people and solve the problem, basically. And so, what if that supervisor has had a terrible day and they're hungover and they're about to get a divorce, or they got served papers that week? You don't know what, but it's made their mood terrible, and every person that has to deal with them, and like every situation they deal with has like the foul finger of death touching it or something. Like, it's just not good. That's darkness that you could run into at your work. And depending on who you're dealing with, I mean, people can be vindictive, like steal your lunch or put laxative in your coffee, like schedule you with the person they know you hate working with, and maybe that person also feels the same way, so it's twice as terrible, you know? Like, you don't have to do that. So that's like, you don't have to choose darkness, I guess is what I'm saying. Back to the script. So, I mean, the literal words, not like this is a script I'm reading. Anyway, where was I? There's always a choice to be made when it comes to coworkers and engaging. Oh, when it comes to co-working and engaging at interacting. There's a balance of power that is decidedly fair and correct, or corrupt and wrong. It's determined by the individual with a hand on the lever. Personally, we have a choice. Do we honestly and honorably... Oh, do we what? Do we act? Do we act honestly and honorably? Question mark. Yes! That is my choice. Or do we give in to intrusive impulses and thusly insert our personal crap, our crapitude, our bad mood? Sorry, I have to... I didn't spell out crapitude, but I liked it. I just added that now. I didn't realize when I said it that it was going to rhyme with bad mood, but hey, something had to go right today. That is neither appropriate for or to a situation at work. If we can't leave our stuff at home, especially if that... If we bring that, I left a couple of words out there. Oh no, that's all mixed up. Anyway, if we bring that with us to work, and it evolves into, oh, I see. If we can't leave our stuff at home, especially if we bring it with us to work, it evolves into taking out the frustrations we're feeling on the co-workers and the subordinates, and that ain't good. Like, that's not productive. That's gonna make people be all hung up on what just happened, what did I do wrong, and why am I in trouble, and maybe it's just me, but I feel like if you're there with the good attitude and you have no problem to bring to the fore, but your boss has a wild hair because of whatever their reasons, they don't have to tell you anything. They're the boss. They can just come to work and be all shitty. A lot of them do. It's people. Like we got a lot of work to do. I mean, that's fine if you want to be all moody and crappy when you're on your own, but like, nobody wants that at work. Nobody wants to know they're trying to work. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me. I don't know this for sure, but I feel like the majority of people that work do it because they have to. They're not there because, whoa, I can't wait to wait on people in the drive-thru window, or clean the toilet, or, you know, do the millionth column of accounting numbers. Like, for a lot of us, it's just, yeah, I used to go there to get the money. It's not like the fulfillment of my life, you know? Like I said, I'm just guessing here. Hi, and maneuvering. I think there's a little more that I had on here. Let's see. Oh, I didn't finish. Yeah, you don't want to bring the crap from home and, you know, take it out on the subordinates. Because that's so wrong and so dark. That's why you, like, don't want to do it. Dragging the unwitting beneath their dark canopy. It's already improper based upon its appearance in the workplace and the using of employees as whipping staff. Big no, 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 no. So, those are just some examples of what I feel like is how we experience darkness. And the reason why I sort of got on the, the reason why I got on the subject was because I'm having a bunch of stuff happen in my life right now that is pretty dark, and I'm wondering, just now, this is not really part of like the essay, but I'm just wondering, like, what exactly did I do? What was the catalyst for, like, it's become a chain reaction of like, oh, great, that's problematic. Oh, that's inconvenient. I'm doing my best not to get too upset by this stuff, and I'm glad that I'm taking that attitude, because today, the worst darkness, I'm not going to talk about that though, but what I read and what I've said so far is talking about what it kind of exists and is parts of our life, but then I started thinking about how it's really just everywhere anyway. There are so many systems that we interact with and that we use or that use us that come from like a really bad place, like systems that are set up without empathy, without, care or concern for clients, customers, employees, the environment. Like, they don't care. There's a lot of people don't care about stuff right now, and it's hurtful. Not just to me personally, like, it hurts all of us, and it is actually kind of almost physically painful to me to see this happening, because this is not, because it is what's happening, it must be what we need to be happening right now. It's what we have all collectively agreed that we want to go down, but man, I'm just going along because I don't really have another choice. But what I started thinking about the darkness and how it is just ever present was like, it made me think of dark matter, which I don't think it even has a color specifically. And as far as it being matter, it's not the kind that you can pick up and grab. It's a whole other, oh my, genus of science thing. I don't know how to call that. But I know that what was discovered about it was that, well, it was nothing like what they thought it was. Like, I think they really thought that it was like a colored something solid. And what it is it feels like more quantum, but it's ever present. It is everywhere, and I also started thinking of like the yin yang symbol, the black and the white in the circle, the two paisleys that so closely fit together and sort of constitute like the sides of all things. It's like wherever there's not a something solid, it is filled with something else. You could say it's filled with nothing. You could say there's nothing between me and the screen. Nothing, right? But in reality, what there is between me and the screen is something that is definitely there. It is a substance, but not one that we 3D beings can handle, like physically pick up and feel. And so we just have to think of it in a different way, because it exists in a different way. But what looks like empty space, that's where the dark matter is, if I understood that science article properly. But I'm sure that's pretty much what it said about the dark matter. What it really is it's just lose that title. Like I think they did start calling it something else, but I'm not sure what that is. But it needs to be referred to differently, because it ain't dark, and I can't grab a piece of it. But we perceive that the space is there, do we not? I think that's what's going on with the dark matter. And so when it comes to the darkness, like what I was talking about in the office, the lights don't go down when stuff's happening. Like everything stays pretty much the same, but the tone of the conversation shifts, right? And that causes other shifts, like mood shifts in us, because if it's never good to be getting in trouble anywhere, and if you are being spoken to by your superiors at work, it's just, you don't want that on your resume. So Now I lost my track of thought. But, when you do have a situation, it does not, like, lightning doesn't crackle and thunder doesn't crash and the lights don't go out. Like, it doesn't turn into Frankenstein's castle and go literal dark. It's a tonal thing. And that's something that we have some control over. We have control over the way we deliver whatever it is, our behavior, and we have a way, we have choices on how to receive it, you know, like, you hope that you're not in a whole lot of trouble at work, like, you hope that you're not being called onto the carpet to get fired, but that would be quick, I hope. Maybe you have to discuss something with your boss that didn't go the way people thought it went. That too could turn dark, because in a chain of rank, there's always going to be somebody above you expecting something from you so that they don't get in trouble from the person above them. So it's like a stressful structure of expectation. And if everybody is getting along well and knows what their job is and doesn't have some emotional kink to throw the whole thing off and throw everybody off, that is what you want to do. That is the way you want to respond to any type of darkness, especially in the workplace, because you can't. What job can your boss tell you something that you don't like and that you don't want to hear, that pisses you off, that's going to allow you to sit there and go, God damn it, you motherfucker, I hate you for making me have to do this. You can't do that at work, can you? You have to leave that darkness to take it home. I'm just giving you like a silly example, but you see how it could apply to like everything in life with the darkness. And that is because, like I said in what I was reading, the darkness also resides inside of us. And when it expands from us and gets bad, it looks like the Trump administration. Just, hey, opinion commentary. Read the 3D House of Pancake signs. Oh yeah, I made a new drawing. That is some people somewhere else experiencing a portal all of a sudden and realizing, oh shoot, there's stuff to be seen on this side and that side. I don't usually explain those things, but it felt like I should. It felt like when I was putting that on there that it had some form of meaning for us. It could be because there's lots of portals been opening up, like big ones, and the energy coming through. You do you think it's having an effect on the world and us peoples? Anyway, what else about the darkness? Oh yes, there is a way that some of us deal with it, and I feel like it's not very well, because it's like something to run from and to be like so fearful of, and like it's a horror movie or something. But I think that the way that we sort of interact with darkness and engage with it, like I said, it varies from person to person, but some people are just like, I'm okay with it, you know, like the parts that are the kind of things you see in war, where the respect for the human form just goes out the window, and all of a sudden you dehumanize these people in your minds, and you kind of have to, unless you got something like some kind of pathology going on where you enjoy killing and maiming people. And you know, there's that fog of war thing that you hear people talking about, and that's just a way of saying that these people have thrown any form of morals out the window because they're in this time and place where a lot of things like that will go under the radar, will not be, you won't get in trouble for it. You should. There's no reason why you should like lose your humanity and take away anyone else's, even in that situation. But like I said, some people are okay with the kind of darkness like that. Like, they don't even need a war. They can just be sneaking around serial murdering people, like just traveling from place to place. And we've all seen true crime, I think. At this point, I don't think I have to explain serial killer behavior to a lot of people. So that's a person that just loves that darkness. Just like they're getting down with the darkness. Too much information. Anyway, I'm gonna finish here. I'm gonna close. But boy, I mean, I'm having a time right now. Like, even today, some stuff has happened that's just like, really? But I have a person in my life that I didn't want them in my life. I did not bring, they were not invited. I never even met this person. I've never even had a conversation with them. They've just been living rent-free, literally, in my phone for a while. Like years. And then I started getting mail, texts from them, which the reason for it is I got an upgrade phone from our friends at Comcast. It should have been new, but it was used, and one of the people that had been using it, I don't think they were the previous owner of the phone, but they had been linked to the phone. The actual physical unit. They were linked on this thing. And for a couple of years, it was just sitting there apparently doing nothing, and even though as soon as I got it, I said, why is there this on here? This is not right. And I called the carrier, and they assured me it was fine, and it wasn't live, it wasn't active, and just ignore it. And I did for a couple of years, and I started getting all kinds of like texts that I did not want to get. From the court, various officers of the courts, trying to reach this person, and like they'd been served, and the baby was born. Where are you? I love you. Why are you ignoring me? It's like, oh my god, collection, debt collectors, and probation. Oh my god, I coughed so hard the screen went dark for a second. But all of the kind of like legal people that want to talk to you because you're in trouble, I don't want that. That didn't have nothing to do with me. So I finally got somebody to help me, and we took the phone off. I don't think it was a phone. I think it was a tablet. Doesn't matter. We took it off of there. And then that's when that jerk decided to start changing pins on stuff. Changing my pins. Free phone service for years. Free streaming. Like, they could still have watched the streaming. They had the passwords. And that's where the problem started for me, is they retaliated. When I removed them from the phone, they obviously, they still had some kind of service, because they were able to still use my passwords against me. So they have... this morning was the final straw. They already locked me out of a second phone. I don't even... The whole story with Comcast and this phone is dark in itself. They don't want to take responsibility when this is all their fault. This can all be laid at their feet, and they're all trying to... Today they're paying attention. They're giving me all kinds of numbers to call and sending me here and sending me there. I already reported them both, Comcast and this guy, to the FBI. Don't know when anything's going to happen on that, but I just feel like, wow, what did I do to deserve all of this? And it's not just that. I mean, other things have not been going right and well, but when I'm doing my best to right things, to fix things and make them how they should be, it's like working against me, like I did something wrong. And it is just a trial right now to just be calm and not lose it. My poor cat keeps trying to come up and comfort me, and I'm like, man, you better get away from me. It's not gonna work right now. I'm actually feeling the darkness myself, my darkness. But here's the thing, like I've talked about this before, and this is like, I don't like turn from this. This is what's happening, regardless of like who, how, why, what had to do with it, me, somebody else. It's here, it's happening. I'm just in it. Might as well just go with the flow. And like, this is what I've been preaching in action. I am just having to practice it now. And believe me, several times today I've almost broken down just crying because it's been stressful. Like I said, like it's been like a chain reaction and decisions I made, but sometimes based on defending myself from other decisions made by other people that have affected me. And it's like, wow, I understand this is a period of transition, and I'm definitely transitioning. But it's rough, and I hope that the options that I have available to me to rectify these problems can be worked out, because I feel like I may lose access to my money for a month because I can't get down to the place where I can fix it, where I can go get it seen to. But that has been an ongoing problem that should be resolving, and I'm just waiting for one of my workers to come back from vacation so she can improve stuff, because I need to go to appointments. I haven't been able to schedule things. I need to go to the eye doctor. I'm going blind again. It's just, everything all at once, and not to mention bills coming due, so there's some interference there, and it's just like, what else? Go ahead, bring it. I'm not even like, what else can happen? Oh, shoot, why did I say that? I'll jinx it. It's jinxed. There's no, oh, whoops, I'll save it. Nope, this is happening. So, yeah, just trying to hold it together and not lose it, because that ain't gonna help. And that has been my dissertation on darkness. Thank you, and good night.